welcome. My name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm really glad you're here because today I'm going to address the most common comment slash question I get from viewers of my channel. So the question slash comment is, why do I introduce myself with my pronouns? So I have a very, very short answer, which I think should be plenty of explanation. But I also have a longer answer in case people need a little more information. And I also have an anecdote. So I have a short, a longer, and an anecdote. And hopefully once I get through all of that, this question will be answered. Okay, so the short, simple answer that I think should really cover it completely is that there are transgender, non-binary, gender non-conforming, and gender fluid people in my life that I love. Period. I have dear friends. I have beloved family members. I have coworkers. I have ex-students. I have so many people in my life that fall into the trans community that I want to be supportive, period. So the slightly more complex answer, so we're going to get into some of my personal beliefs. This answer is twofold. One, I believe that our society can be a happier one if more individual people are afforded the chance to be happy. And one of the best ways for someone to be happy is to allow them to walk their personal path to happiness, whatever that may be, as long as you're not hurting or infringing on anyone else's person or rights. I mean, like, if your joy is killing puppies, you're not going to get support from me. But if what makes you happy doesn't hurt any other living thing, let your freak flag fly. I've never understood why someone would be so upset about, for instance, a same-sex marriage, that they don't know any of the people that are getting married or at the ceremony. They don't live anywhere near them. They don't interact with them ever, and yet they're so upset about it. And I don't get it because I've never been someone who would begrudge someone else's happiness. You have no right to tell someone else how they can live their lives. And especially when telling someone how to live their life is the opposite of what will make them happy. To demand that someone live an unauthentic life is cruel, and I won't be a part of it. Reason number two, in this twofold longer explanation, I happen to believe that or I was taught to believe that it is the responsibility of those who have privilege to stand up for those who are not privileged. So specifically what that means is men standing up for women's rights, white people standing up for black and brown lives, Christians standing up against anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim acts, able-bodied individuals fighting for the rights of the physically handicapped, the neurotypical community pushing for the rights of those who are on the autism spectrum, straight people standing up for gay and alternative lifestyles, and cis people standing up for the trans community. Things only change when the privileged try to make change. When only the people standing up for rights are the people without the rights, things don't change. I'm sorry to say it. It's depressing and sad, but I was raised to believe that staying neutral in cases of oppression means that you are siding with the oppressors. So the least I can do is introduce myself with my pronouns. It's not hurting anyone. It shouldn't offend anyone. And it is respectful and kind to those who may feel they need to share their pronouns. So I do it so that others will feel welcome to share those pronouns. I'm including them in my world as welcoming as I possibly can. That's That's really all there is to it. And if my introduction with pronouns means nothing to you, or confuses you, or doesn't make sense to you, then please understand it's not for you. And to find it offensive says way more about you than it does about me. So make your comments. That's fine. The world will know how you really feel about things. Okay, I've reached my anecdote. Years ago, I went to a conference, an educators conference, where the keynote speaker spoke about curb cuts. Now, you might not know that term. I certainly didn't, but you use them unless you live in a very, very rural area. Curb cuts are where the sidewalk meets the road at an intersection and slopes downward to the level of the street. Those are called curb cuts. I know, I didn't know they had a name either. They were planned and implemented for those who were wheelchair bound. But what the city planners discovered was that after those curb cuts were in place, they were being used and appreciated by far more than just people in wheelchairs. Bike riders, people pushing strollers, those who use walkers, those on crutches, skateboarders, roller skaters or rollerbladers, depending on your generation, people with hip and knee issues. So what I learned is that, what I learned and the city planners learned was that when we make things more accessible to any one group, we often end up making things more accessible for far more than just the people we planned. And I believe that inclusion and not exclusion is the right path forward. So hopefully, after my short answer, my long answer, and my anecdote, you understand now why I introduce myself with my pronouns, even though I am a cis woman. Do me a favor. Be nice to yourself. You are precious and important. I'll catch you next time. Bye.